Game begin.
Hello, Michael J.
Hello, Lanny Huang.
Happy Thursday. We are at Hex and Co. Union Square. I was triumphant in my first match, playing Esper Bobs versus Mono Green Stompy. What was your situation?
I was Enchantress, playing against the returning Derek Heaton. Derek took off all of Season 2 after a top 8 showing in Season 1. Derek was on regular Dead Guy Ale, full-on Dark Rituals, Nantuko Shades.
Debatably playable or unplayable Dead Guy L, depending on the day of the week.
I got the first game, and then he annihilated me in both of the sideboard games. So I kept an excellent hand in Game 2. He duressed my Mary's Guile, disenchanted my Sylvan Library, and then I didn't draw any cards. Like, I just would play like one Enchantress's Presence at a time, which he just vindicated one at a time.
Yeah.
And killed me.
That makes two Vindicate decks victorious in the first game, because I also have Vindicate.
And then in Game 3, I went, Accelerator, Opal Wave, and he just cracked my Opal Wave with
Vindicate.
No, with Diabolic Edict. So I'm like,
so all you have in play is Parallax Wave.
Well, no, like the first Diabolic Edict took out an exploration, right? I'm like, I got this.
Yeah.
And they're just like, all right, Diabolic Edict. And I'm like, oh man, this is embarrassing. So I'm like, all right, so I have a second Parallax Wave. So I'm like, all good.
Yeah.
Just like, Diabolic Edict
number 3.
And I'm like,
yes,
wow.
Yes, you deserve it.
Wild and woolly.
You deserve it.
And I had already, I'm like, I had taken out a 5/5 at this point. I'm feeling pretty good.
It's crazy because Diabolic Edict is always good against your deck, because if it doesn't get Parallax Wave, it gets Enchantress.
I mean, like, what a sideboard card, am I right? So then he just goes like, he's like, Morph Nantuko Shade, go. And I'm like, oh, this, and I'm at 20, and I'm like, this looks like a 2-turn clock. So
it's a Bane of the Living, you mean?
No, it was Exalted Angel.
Oh, I thought you said Morph to Nantuko Shade.
No, Morph and a Nantuko Shade.
Yeah, GG.
So I looked at I'm like, okay, that's easily 8+12.
Yeah.
Right, so...
Do you have Dark Ritual?
He didn't use it there.
Okay, but did he have it in his deck?
Yes.
Yeah.
So then...
So you're just telling me, every match, he just drew removal, exactly as many lands as he needed, and tried to close the game.
And then just tapped all of his land into an Nantuko Shade.
All of his... Yeah.
Game 2, he had, like, turn 2 Withered Wretch, so that was, like, a pretty good card, because my deck has, some graveyard interaction.
Yeah, I mean, it's not blank. I don't think it's great against Enchantress.
And then, but, on the last turn of the game, after he had, blown up all of my enchantments with... Did I mention it was Vindicate?
Yeah.
He had, like, Phyrexian Negator, 2 Hypnotic Specters, and the first Hypnotic Spectre beat the crap out of me, right? So
yeah.
I had 2 Swords of Pleasure, so I couldn't cast them.
Yeah, sometimes Hypnotic Spectre works. Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Wooded Foothills. It does not search for plains.
Plains, yeah.
So, Enchantress taken down fair and square by regular Dead Guy.
By you may know, the artist formerly known as Playable Dead Guy Ale. The artist formerly known as Unplayable Dead Guy Ale.
So, Lanny, when was the last time we recorded? Because did you have Patrick Chapin comes back with a podcast with Mike before I do?
I was
on your bingo card.
I was in LA. You had a show, so that's just 2 weekends in a row. And then we were kind of like iffy, even in the weeks leading up to that, which is fully my fault. I take responsibility. I'm a busy guy these days, but still working hard to bring you Spike Colony content.
Speaking of which, right before this league, which I don't think he knew you were coming to league. I typically come to league every week. David Tao said, will you start Spike Colony up again if I sponsor it?
Sponsor you, yeah. So
you said no. But I would like to say this episode of Spike Colony brought to you by Broadway's O'Mary, starring Jane Krakowski.
Jane Krakowski, who is delightful. And if you are ever curious about what that bourbon tastes like, you can probably find out what David Tao thinks about it at David Thomas Tao on wherever you get your social media. And great guy. Slightly less powerful David in the current Eternal Davids.
Very slightly.
fourth place at Sacred Torch rather than a win, or top four at Sacred Torch rather than a win. You know, didn't get second place at Eternal Weekend.
Oh, no. He followed up with a top 4 at the Winamax Vintage Tournament on the second day.
Right.
And then actually won a Mox by coming in second in pre-modern.
Yes.
I did not have D-Tao plays his same 75 from Sacred Torch, blasts to the finals of a 111-person Eternal Weekend pre-modern event, loses to Tireless Tribe Theme Deck in the finals.
Yeah.
I did not have that on my bingo card.
No. My bingo card, you know, is trying to win. So I'm trying to get bingos. But you gotta have some, you know, in the corner spots, maybe a few home runs.
I mean, is his deck good?
No, Terrigan's horrible. Terrigan is horrible.
Consecutive excellent outcomes at 2 of the top tournaments.
It's horrible. It's plot armor. Terrigan is horrible.
I mean, his plot armor is thick.
It's like not even a joke. Like I genuinely don't think that the deck is very good. Like,
I
I think
Andy
it's
Levine
like,
also top 4'd that tournament.
I agree. Like there is evidence. There's plenty of evidence. Terrigan's one of the highest win rate decks.
Andy threatened to play Terrigan in the Trios tournament, and I said, play this, and I handed him the Enchantress deck that I just went along with.
Yeah, I mean...
He lost the first round, but I won that round. I got more wins that were relevant than I did the entire previous Trios tournament in the first round, which propelled us to a 1-0 victory. And then Andy didn't lose again the rest of the day because he's Andy Levine.
Yeah. I mean, it's just... He's a secret killer, and like...
It's not a secret anymore.
Well, the secret is like he just doesn't really bring it out for tournaments anymore, except for like sort of nonchalantly, right? And like there just isn't enough tournaments. Like we kind of need a few more, like... Well, so it's tough, right? So, Dress Crew, for instance. Who do you think the most powerful member of Dress Crew is, right?
I was really impressed by Brad's play, I have to say. He's a very good player at the table. He has skills I don't have. That's actually one of the things that impresses me. When somebody does something that I wouldn't have done, and then I can clearly see that it was good or better. That's impressive to me. I mean, I think that the default is Nick Mayo because he's the highest profile, I think.
Oh yeah. So that's the big thing. It's for me.
I mean, neither of them finals LobsterCon last year.
Yeah. So for me, that's what's complicated, right? So card carrying members versus like just here to have a good time is like a pretty big bifurcation. So members, people like Massachusetts-based people like Dr. Rich Shea, like Brian Selden, like Justin Provençal, Super Crushers, they don't wear the jacket, right? The people who wear the jacket, in my mind, are runner-up main event Mike Coyle from 2024, runner-up side event Meatballs, or John Dallings from side event. Like this is the only time where we get to basically throw down and be like,
I mean, Brad came to the finals of our big tournament.
Yeah, so I think that like the intervening tournaments that matter would be like if we run a big tournament that Dress Crew will travel to, or if we travel to Massachusetts. Otherwise, they crunch their own data over there, and they've got names of like guys who just like top 8 every single time, and we don't know them because they haven't made like LobsterCon pater. Like for instance, the Southeast scene. We all know about Cameron Heisey, but there's some really impressive players who again in their like little bubble, they're the Andy Levines of their crew. Let me bring this full circle.
If you're just going to play pre-modern, not all Eternal formats, you just got to choose pre-modern, and you need somebody to like stop the alien invasion with his pre-modern skills.
Yeah, you're borrowing Randy Buehler's.
Okay, I mean, are you not going to choose
John and Kai?
Stephen Wyatt Bush? I mean, he never loses.
I'm always choosing Rich.
In New York.
In New York? Oh, interesting.
I just want to point out to you, Stephen Wyatt Bush with a joke deck won 5 out of 6 weeks.
Yeah, just like 12,
which
12
means that I came 2-1 5 out of 6 weeks, including the league finals. And the 1 week I won, I didn't play him. Okay? Yeah. So, I mean, Stephen Wyatt Bush, 5 out of 6 weeks is like beyond mathematically.
Yeah,
and we got a lot of players.
I would evade mathematically probable or improbable. I think that like just because it's on the thin part of the curve for somebody with like even a high sort of like 70-ish% win rate, like I don't think that's outrageous. Like to quote Matt Damon rounders, I've gone on runs like that before. You know, what was it, like 10 grand in 2 weeks? I've gone on runs like that before.
Okay, I'm just saying,
like, you know, we can do it.
Bush beat me, but here's the thing: he beat me on Stompy, on Red Deck, on Psychotog, on Enchantress. Like, and I can't remember the other deck he beat me on.
Yeah,
but he beat me with. I was on like 5 different decks and he beat me 5 times.
Well, is it going to be like a John and Kai for us? Is just Levine and Bush? Just like one of them.
Levine does not show up every week.
Yeah, exactly. So he's John, and then SWB is Kai. So Kai,
it's literally me and Bush always wins.
So Bush is Bush is the juggernaut, and Levine is like the best intuitive player. But I wanted to close the loop, which is just that it's funny to like try to build the mythology of these characters, from New York to our listeners who are all over the world, because I know you guys have your Levines and your Bushes, and it's so funny because
like Aaron Dix will tell me a guy that I played.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, he's really good.
He'll roll up and he'll be like, oh man, like that's the.
I'm like, I too owed him.
That's the Midwest. Yeah, it's like that's our Midwest guy. Like that's our killer. Like I mean, DEL rolled up to Aaron's tournament a few months ago and just like casually top 8'd it, right? Yeah, I mean, there's something in the water here, fluoride. But I mean, I think that it's always fun to like think about and commingle, and I hope to see some more success from our guys, and I hope to see get to meet, like, I don't know, it's like the local mythology is interesting to me because I think that it's very possible listeners are at home just like psh, like these guys can't be that good. They're probably just smurfing in New York.
They're like, I'm better than SWB. You're not better than SWB.
Yeah, you're not better than SWB.
You're probably not better than Lan.
No one's better than Lan.
Everyone's better than
Lan's
I am.
Too.
I just have persistence on my side.
Yeah. You can rely on it. So
I 3-0'd the hell out of Pauper this week, though.
Right, so
I made a new deck. See my new deck? I posted it on social.
I want to talk about.
I don't approve. I made a new deck.
All right.
Killed my darlings. 3-0.
Again, pre-modern is the topic of this podcast. So you had Chapin on Top Level Podcast. How do I find Top Level Podcast? I just search it on podcasts. Is it on Spotify?
I don't know.
You got to make sure it's on Spotify.
Is that where podcasts are now?
That's where podcasts are now. I can't believe it. I use Apple Podcasts, but our listeners, majority are from Spotify. I think it's more popular in Europe. So,
I think Top Level Podcast might have been one of the first podcasts on Spotify, but I honestly don't remember.
Yeah. Make sure you're pushing to Spotify. And
I just pressed the button
so that people can figure it out.
I would say I'm shocked I remembered all the logins, but I didn't remember all the logins. I had them written down.
Yeah. Sticky note.
Thank God.
So, you went on Chapin, dumped a little theory on. Really, really fun episode.
That was literally coming from our bougie Discord that day.
Yeah, we were kind of getting into this thing because, so rewind all the way back to Hall of Fame Spike Colony episode, Math is Dead. I kind of snuck it in there, and I was just like, Mike, Sylvan Library's tempo, right? And that was because in the Elves Discord, I just wrote down. I was like, one line message, Sylvan Library's tempo. Everyone's just like, what are you trying? And I'm like, listen, Sylvan Library's tempo. I played all these Sylvan Library decks. I was making observations about the red-green Ponza Oath deck, which was like the anti-tempo, it felt like, right? And this is what broke it open for me, because we talked about the Ponza Oath deck all the time, and what did I always say? I was like, well, I guess the deck spends all its mana every turn, right? Like, why does
tempo?
Why does that?
Is it extra tempo that took away your land?
Yeah, why does this deck have Mox Diamond? It runs out of cards immediately. It's just like, Mox, discard a card. And I'm like, why are you playing Mox? Like, why don't you play Wild Growth? It's like, well, I guess.
But it's a tempo deck because the Terravore kills you so fast you can't recover.
You actually spend your mana every turn, right? So you play your Mox, and then you just tap it every single time. It doesn't matter if you're going Mox, Rishadan Port, tap your land, go, Stone Rain, go, right? Like, it's like, yeah, sure, you can be playing Jackalpup Savannah Lion, right? But like, that's always like an argument of like, that's like more tempo. And I'm like, well, decks are just different, right? Decks just like do different things.
I mean, how about all decks have card advantage, all decks have tempo, all decks have fire?
So I think that's good. But my bigger point was like this other thing that was happening was just like, oh, like this Sylvan Library card, like I just remember I hated Sylvan Library. Like, you remember how much I hate Sylvan
And then
Library.
you became a for Sylvan Library.
Yeah, I became like the biggest Sylvan Library guy.
You injected Sylvan Library straight into your eyeball.
I cut Sylvan Library from like Parfait. I like went down to one copy. I was like, I never want to draw two. Like, I'll draw one, but I never want to draw two
because
Sylvan
you
Libraries.
had land tax. When you have land tax, Sylvan Library just feels like an excessive amount of things to do during your upkeep.
But Rich played 3 Sylvan Libraries in his Parfait 75, and I always thought that was completely insane.
Yeah, but you had duress.
No, Rich. We all had duress. Mark Voigt and Rich put the duress deck together. I did not innovate at all on Parfait. Like
Rich played 72 cards, so he could fit the Sylvan Libraries.
Yeah. So, anyways, the point is, I didn't understand the Sylvan Library card because I was coming from it from a card advantage angle. I was like, this card, all it does is like for it to be a portent, it's 1G for life. When I could just portent, I was like, why don't I just ever play portent, right? And I was like, sure, sometimes you pay 8 life and you go 1, like, why don't I just play deep analysis, right? I'll play 3 life, I'll get 4 cards. And we've talked about on this podcast, I was like, oh, you get the value every turn. It became the Mirri's Guile, like, oh, this is Sensei's Divining Top. It's like, wait.
Well, when you explain Sensei's Divining Top -1 operating mana per turn, Mirri's Guile seems a lot better.
When Sam Black explained that. But what's the difference between Mirri's Guile and Sylvan Library? Sylvan Library, sometimes you look at your top 3 and you're like, you know what I really need this turn is my land drop and something to do with all my mana. So this turn, I'm going to spend 4 life. Last turn, I didn't need it, right? Last turn, I just needed to hit my land drop and play what's already in my hand. But like a few turns later, I'm starting to run out of gas, and then you choose like the perfect moment to pick up a card, spend 4 life, and, double spell like on turn 7 or whatever. Like the Sylvan Library is kind of cooked, it's kind of smooth, and then finally you sort of do this big turn, whatever your deck is up to. Not to mention shuffling shenanigans and other kind of stuff. And I was like, there is something that, like, the reason why I got obsessed with this like joke of like Sylvan Library's tempo was that
It was a joke?
I was blind. Well, it's no longer a joke. I didn't see what was happening. And so this is a roundabout way to say, why talk about tempo? Why define tempo? Why define card advantage? Why define fire in terms of the philosophy of fire, of course? And it is to try to understand things, understand the full picture of a card in a context or a given play in a context, or if you're going to add a card to your deck.
It just makes it easier to explain concepts.
Yeah.
And that, understanding individual concepts is easier than playing perfect strategic magic, and that people can put these concepts together and they get to be better players in total. Fire is the only thing that actually matters. How do I translate my cards into victory?
Yeah.
But these other things help us kind of get there.
They approximate. Well, so and that's the thing is like that is why Chapin made the jokes like first people only care about fire, so they're like bolt you, right?
Yeah.
And then they start only caring about card advantage. They're like, oh wait, if I draw more cards, I'll probably win the game
because it feels fancy.
Then they like, it's actually about tempo, like how I sort of like use my cards efficiently because my opponent can draw cards
because
too.
They start playing limited.
That's also a good one. Limited is probably the most important application of spend your mana every turn and try to build a deck that can do that. And then finally you come back around to fire. So the reason why I think that's interesting is because I think a lot of cards, you look at them and you make statements. Like one statement I hear all the time is Mox Diamond is like one of the most powerful cards in pre-modern. And I'm just like, it's not.
I think it is one of the most powerful cards.
I think you could probably be like, oh, it's like, in the top 10, but like some people have it as like top 1. And I think
Sam had it at top 1.
Sam had it at top 1, and I think that he was wrong. I think that he was wrong because of a few things. Like I think that one, he was comparing it to Mox Opal, where his thesis about Mox Opal was just like, this is a fantastic card. I just need to enable this card, and outside of land tax, efforts to enable Mox Diamond are just super fun. Like Terrageddon, Grotog, Esper Bobs,
What about SWB's Parfait deck that never loses?
SWB's Parfait deck. These are all like pretty fair Mox Diamonds, like Mox Diamonds that don't really annihilate their opponent. And like, it's funny to me that people kind of continue on this like, it has an influence on the format. If it were less expensive, everybody would be playing it.
Did we have the podcast already when I bought 3 Mox Diamonds.
Yeah. We talked about.
I have not played those Mox Diamonds ever.
Exactly.
I played them in one meetup, and I didn't win the meetup.
And then there's sort of this other thing going on, which is Jared Doucette has a pre-modern cube, and sometimes he likes to post packs on it, on like the pre-modern Discords. Like,
no one would ever take Mox Diamond out of any pack.
What's your pack one? Pick one. So we post one. He's like, okay, like I know you're all gonna be into taking Mox or like whatever here. I'm like, no, Mox is so bad. Even in underpowered limited, Mox is like horrible. You're gonna discard a card in limited.
In limited?
Yeah, it's horrible. Anyways, so
TSC used to be like when you're playing cube, you have to remember you're playing limiters.
Yeah, exactly. That's a good one. You still have to draft lands, and so so that's one of the things. We're like, okay, well, like, how do I explain what people are getting wrong about it? Now, probably the simplest thing is just like, it's not card advantage, and it not being card advantage also makes it not tempo a lot of the time, right?
Are we talking about Mox Diamond right now?
Yeah, Mox Diamond.
It's tempo.
Well, so here's the thing.
It's so tempo.
If you, this is a huge unlock, right? And this is actually like a thing that Sam Black says about EDH, which is true about Magic, which is just that like ramp is not a thing if you miss your land drop at any point in time, right? So if you go land, rampant growth, and then on turn 3 you don't have a land drop, then your rampant
just start down.
You just go down, right? So same thing. If you go like land, Mox, Sphere of Resistance, miss my next land drop, go. Like, you're not in good shape.
So
right?
let me respond to this.
If you the point that you miss your land drop, your Mox stops being a Mox. That's the point.
So it's volatility, right? It introduces, like, existence of Mox Diamond introduces volatility into games, right? Because it always costs you a card if it's functioning, and it sometimes dramatically shortens the game. That is the effect of Mox Diamond.
Well, like, let me tell you about dramatically shortening the game. It only does that in Red Green Ponzo, and sometimes with Grotog, but like only if your opponent is kind of not up to anything.
I mean, there are some situations, like if you go Mox Weathered Wayfarer, like it's just card advantage, right?
Yeah, it's not even card advantage. It's cantripping. You're like literally like discard a card, put a card into the battlefield.
It's a slow road to gaining clarity.
Two activations later.
Okay.
You're like, so you're just like waiting. It's like the worst startup. Like, Sharks, here's my deal. You pay me 4 cards, and in 6 turns, I guarantee you will be able to cycle a Secluded Step or put a Rishon Port into play that you wouldn't have had otherwise.
So here's the thing. Do you know the concept of siding lands, like having lands in your sideboard?
I mean, aside from the obvious, when you need more lands to cast bigger spells in your sideboard or to be resilient to land 8, I would board in lands if I had them against the land destruction deck.
I think there are like 3 main cases. I think people rarely have lands in their sideboard because they might randomly get paired against land destruction. I think that's relatively unlikely.
Normally they're splashing something.
Yeah, they'll play like
or they're sideboarding in a bunch of, say, like fledgling dragons in their burn deck.
No, there's 3 use cases. One is like the lands are functional in some way, right?
Dust Bowls and Wastelands, utility lands.
Especially like slow against slow, right?
So a Jeldoran Outpost for the grinding matchups. Thawing Glaciers if you want.
That's one. Second one is in control decks that... It's weird because some control decks have very high land counts to begin with. Other control decks have low land counts, but like supplement with signets or something.
Sure.
Those are both high count and low count control decks will sideboard lands when playing against other slow control decks.
Right.
Because they don't want to miss land drops because that... You know, we could get into
for the grinding matchups.
How the adage, so, whoever misses their first land drop is the one who's at the
is that tempo or card advantage?
It's kind of both, but it's mostly card advantage because that person is more likely to start discarding. There's a lot of downriver effects to it, right? But it's also tempo. But the other use case is beatdown decks against beatdown decks. The reason that you add land is because you want to have thicker land draws in your opening hand, especially on the play. And the thesis is, if you have a thicker land drop on the land count on the play, you will end the game before it bites you in the ass that you had more land in your deck. Because if you both go to 60s, the guy with more land in his deck is at a disadvantage. Right. So you actually have to end the game.
This is something that hasn't happened in a while, though, right? Like that the stock red-green beatdown had an extra mountain in the sideboard for the mirror. Because I'll tell you about the few times that I've sideboard lands, or a few lands in sideboards, right? Sideboard Thawing Glaciers, sideboard Dust Bowl, pretty self-explanatory.
Sideboard Thawing Glaciers is Anyone who does that is probably a genius of some sort. Or Andy Roll.
There was the red deck in Ravnica, the most recent Ravnica standard, that boarded Experimental Frenzy in, which is a 4 casting cost future sight.
Yeah.
And in order to do that...
I was a player of that.
Yeah, in order to do that, and maybe it would board in some big Planeswalker or whatever, like 4 or 5 mana cards, it would have to board in some whatever. And then boarding
Round
in
2 pairings
Forest...
are up.
Yeah, and then boarding in Forest in your red-green burn deck. But we will continue this conversation later.
Lanny,
Yes.
for those planeswalkers who reside in planes of Dominia other than the Spike Colony Bougie Discord,
Yeah.
what is Esper Bobs?
Esper Bobs. No, if you've been listening to the last 2 episodes, Esper Bobs is like the most exciting deck in pre-modern. It's Weather Wayfarer, Merfolk Looter combo.
So basically, instead of 1/2/1, you have 2/1/1s.
Yeah.
And instead of paying a life,
You pay a mana.
you pay a mana.
Yeah.
And always have to be behind.
Yeah.
But sometimes you can attack for 2.
Yeah.
Which is the same as a Dark Confidant.
Yeah.
I got it.
It's a deck that contains Gush and Weathered Wayfarer, which is something I think Brewers have always been chasing, and I think I have it. It has Merfolk Looter, which I think Brewers have always been chasing, and I think I have it.
A severely underplayed Magic the Gathering card.
I think Merfolk Looter's definitely I think it was a no-brainer in Madness, and people just weren't even playing it in their blue-green no survival Madness decks.
Well, I mean,
and if they're survival Madness decks, I'm like, you can't spare a slot for one Merfolk Looter in your survival the fittest deck. You have to play all 4 Root Wallas.
They probably
you have to
were
play
just copying
Masticores and Gilded Drakes.
They were just copying lists from the standard list from 2003, right?
Merfolk Looter Squeeze, unreal. I was when I was doing it, I was like, this is too much power for one person.
Well, you also played an alternate reality where Lavadart isn't very good.
Well, Lavadart isn't very good right now, and that's part of it. And
it's good against Esper Bobs, I gotta tell you.
Lavadart is excellent against Esper Bobs. Esper Bobs cannot handle Lavadart.
Is that card advantage or tempo? How good Lavadart is against Esper Bobs?
It depends
the
on
answer
how many
is
mountains.
Yes, and yes.
It's card
3
parity.
yeses.
It's 2 for 2. So it's not that exciting.
But
if
it's
I drew a card
1
off
mana
the
for
Wayfarer,
3 mana.
That's true.
Maybe more because you set yourself behind. And then I paired how behind you were by flashing back my Lavadart. It was really a disaster for you, actually.
So, Esper Bobs defeated not Esper, not Bobs. Naya Terravor Armageddon strategy.
Naya Terravor Armageddon.
Yes.
That sounds kind of like a Terrageddon.
Yeah, Terrageddon, yeah.
Isn't that the deck that we were talking about just before the round started?
Well, let me tell you about Esper Bobs versus Naya Terrageddon. They have 4 copies of Swords Plowshares, and I have 16 creatures that need to be plowshared.
They have to respect every Weathered Wayfarer.
Every Weathered Wayfarer, Merfolk Looter, Psychotogan, Exalted Angel, and Meddling Mage while we're at it.
Yes. What's up?
He has a Pyroblast.
Why does they respect Meddling Mage?
Because Meddling Mage names Swords of Plowshares.
Oh.
So he has to bring in Pyroblast and Pyroclasm to remove Meddling Mage,
Well,
so that he can sort of...
seems pretty good against your deck of all blue creatures.
Right, but you're not going to draw 5. You're going to draw 1.
And like what?
What if he has his powerful card drawing engine?
What's his powerful card drawing engine?
Sylvan Library?
He had it for 10 turns, but he paid 3 times, and then he couldn't pay anymore. He was on a mulligan of 5. I mean, Sylvan Library had whatever, but I was actually sitting on a disenchant, and I was like, I'm going to wait until I can disenchant a Mox or do something more better, because this Sylvan is out of gas anyways. The deck is out of gas, right?
But Esper Bobs never runs out of gas.
Esper Bobs can run out of gas, but not not often. I have a Cephalid Coliseum, right?
You can convert a Gush into 5 cards.
Yeah, I have a Gush, right? And I have Looter. And so, yeah, if you stop Looter and you stop Weather Wayfarer and you stop, win cons and, I don't draw...
What are the load-bearing elements of Esper Bobs? Is it Psychotog?
Merfolk Looter is load-bearing, I would say.
No. Merfolk Looter and Weathered Wayfarer, Captain Planet together to become
No.
one Dark Confidant. He is literally the power of air.
No, Merfolk Looter plus nothing. Like, so the difference between Esper Bobs and a traditional Lanny Huang deck is that it doesn't. I don't play Portent. I can't fit Portent into Esper Bobs. So Esper Bobs is closer.
So Merfolk Looter is your Portent.
Merfolk Looter turns every card into Portent, right? And so Merfolk Looter is kind of key to making the deck work. But what's nice is that your opponent is going to be busy, right? Like, they're going to be playing stuff. Their stuff gets postured. Their stuff gets vindicated. So
Vindicate.
yeah. And here's the thing about Meddling Mage Naming Plowshares. It no longer cuts off your only removal spell. Now you can just Meddling Mage Plowshares and hold up Vindicate for Terravor. The other thing is you can Vindicate a Terravor and they won't gain 10 life for them to put into their Sylvan Library. So
you're saying Esper Bobs is the true unlock of the pre-modern format?
I think Esper Bobs is a form of unlock. I think it suffers from being not a very powerful deck. Like, it doesn't do anything good. Like, it just does anything fine. But it does those fine things with more longevity than other decks in the format that have that plan. So Esper Bobs is just, to me, an upgraded version of Terragon. I have removal. I have threats. I have card advantage.
And like a Psychotog is your Terra.
Psychotog is Terravor, and Psychotog counters opposing Terravor. And so the end result is, the reason why Merfolk Looter is load-bearing in the deck is very much in the same way that Sylvan Library is load-bearing in the Terragon deck, which is you need to be a little bit better every turn.
I hope it is more load-bearing than Sylvan Library is in the Terragon.
Sylvan Library is very load-bearing in the Terragon deck.
Wow.
I don't know how they survive without it, unless they just accidentally have all their cards come out in the right order. But like, Sylvan Library goes a long distance in getting there. So yeah, Merfolk Looter basically means that if you are going to play a game that is going to last, between 8 and 20 turns, like, you'll win those games, right? The incremental advantage of Merfolk Looter, is going to beat whatever your opponent's doing. And because you have tools like free counterspells like Foil and Armageddon, you can also wedge your opposing long game opponents that have like big card advantage engines, like, whatever Fact or Fiction accumulated knowledge nonsense. So Esper Bobs is really impressive to me in that I have made several very, very bad Esper decks that have Gush, Mox, Diamond, Exalted Angel, Meddling Mage, Vindicate, Armageddon. I've built a lot of decks with all of those cards, and just moving it to the Weathered Wayfarer, Meddling Mage, or Weathered Wayfarer Looter plan was like better than playing a stack of AKs or playing a stack of Portents or playing a stack of Fact Efficients. It was like actually like...
What percentage of that is just that they can attack?
It is a non-0%, right? Because once you have 3 in play, I'm going to loot 3 times.
You can basically take on
I'm going to loot 3 times,
Dreadnought.
But sometimes I can attack. Yeah, 3/1/1s is what it takes, right? I mean, it's not 0, right? Like, in a pinch, Wayfarer can deal damage. And, the Philosophy Fire tells us that we do have to, at some point, exchange something for damage. But honestly, Esper was like really impressive. I don't think I'm gonna 3-0. There's like a lot of,
you're 2-0 right now
in the room. Yeah, and I think I got pretty lucky. Your plan was to bring Mono Green Stompy to defeat Esper Bobs. And I was a little bit scared.
There were 2 stasis decks in the room also, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
We're still in New York.
Yeah,
I'm playing the SWB strategy. I have Stompy and another deck.
Right.
My other deck is Enchantress, as you know.
And there's a White Weenie deck in the room. So I don't know, like, Esper Bobs might have a little bit of a weak spot against those decks that would beat a Grotog style deck, but...
See, I thought Stompy would have been pretty good, like... Just a tonnage of dudes.
I just have Exalted.
Oh, they can't beat an Exalted.
Yeah.
Stompy cannot beat an Exalted Angel.
I have Mox Exalted Angel. So...
Yes, I've been SWB. Yeah. I played Beefcake at a meetup, and I...
Oh, did I not report? I won 2-0. I am victorious, 2-0.
Great.
Yes, Lanny is the victorious player, not Simon. Lanny.
Speaking of...
Shout out to Simon.
Speaking of Stompies, Simon, top 16... Sacred Torch.
Hello, Hex
Yeah,
and Co.
with
This is
some-
your
with something.
last call for Philly Cafe drinks. Last call.
that he borrowed from you.
So,
I think that Sompeak probably can get it against Esper Bob's, but it has to, like, Swords of Plowshares. Isn't Swords of Plowshares such a beating? Swords of Plowshares for Rogue Elephant? Isn't that just like, how can you recover?
I mean,
He even got a Rush with Legat on me. But it was
Sompeak's
turn
like a-
2 because he was on the play.
Sompeak's like a really dense deck. It also can shorten the game.
What if you draw all pump and no creatures?
That's very bad to Swords of Plowshares.
Yeah, like what if you draw like 2 or 3 creatures?
Yeah, there's like
and all pump.
there's no hexproof, there's no
Yeah,
poison.
yeah.
It's just here's a 2/1 for 2, or 0, or 3. We have a variety of 2/1 casting costs.
And I will say this: I think Esper Bob's can beat a Color. It has. It showed itself too.
So I played also against the Terravore deck. I played against Mother. I think it was green white, Mother of Runes,
Yeah, like a traditional.
Glow Rider,
Oh no, this is. They had Terravore too.
a Terravore, Crop Rotation. So that's a card that feeds Terravore also.
Yeah. Okay.
But I just got
Enchantress and
just
Blade.
got the Enchantress draws.
Yeah.
You know, like
Terravore decks can't beat like cards that cost 1 and a G, Oath of Druid, Survival of
Like,
Fittest,
it's just-
Sylvan Library, Argothian Enchantress.
my draws weren't that exciting. Well, the thing is,
Glooter,
it's hard to say
Honorary,
if
1
my
and a G.
draws were exciting or not because he was disrupting my mana. Right?
Sure, yeah.
So like I couldn't just go off.
Yeah.
So it's just like Richard on Port Glow Rider
Yeah.
slows you down a lot.
Yeah.
Right. So like he's tapping my land that has Wild Growth on it.
Yeah.
So I'm playing a kind of a plotting game.
Yeah.
Thank goodness for Miri's Guile, which is both a card I could cast through Glow Rider without an overabundance of mana,
Right.
and helps me to hit my land drops.
Right. While
But
they're doing nothing.
eventually, I
They're
just have
attacking for 2.
2 Enchantresses in play.
Yeah.
2 mana Plowshares is Glow Rider EOT, and it's going to be all she wrote,
Yeah.
right? But, I sided in Sacred Ground, didn't come up. Oh, is that a round?
Our round
All
is
right.
up.
Good luck last round, Lanny.
Good luck. Michael J.
So, as always, I played against SWB in the last round. And even though I was only 1-1, SWB had an imperfect record. So, I played game 1 correctly this time, but he just had all his counter spells, which is more than enough cards to stop.
Was this the second time you've played this exact matchup, Enchantress against Parfait?
Yeah, but I played it to not deck myself this time, but he had 3 counter spells and a foil.
Some might say that Esper Bob's is a Parfait deck.
Well,
There's Weather Wayfarer, which is land tax. There's Merfolk Looter, which is Scroll Rack. And also, I put a Scroll Rack in the deck as the 61st card, so that it would also be a Scroll Rack.
and then we went to time in game 2. So.
Yeah. Well, his strategy
me.
is notorious at this point.
You also
The 1-0 victory.
You
I
also
also
had the
won
1-0 victory.
I also 1-0 victoried over
I think
Andy
you were the
Levine.
most likely to draw player I know.
I didn't draw. I won.
Most likely to draw, though.
Yeah, I
You
would
go
be
to
like
time like way more than
I would be
did.
like minus. Well, that's not fair. Andy contributed.
Andy's not that slow of a player.
He's not that slow of a player, but he contributed to the match length.
So you played against Levine. I played against
We didn't draw though.
Wyatt Danger.
You're 2 cards.
I didn't draw either. I was just cleanly defeated.
I defeated Andy Levine.
What is he playing? Was he playing a joke deck?
No, he's playing Mono Blue Tide.
A joke deck.
Esper Bob's is
That's true.
superb
It is a
against
joke
Mono
deck.
Blue Tide.
What?
I'm playing a joke deck.
Wait, did he ignore your Weathered Wayfarers? I can never tell.
No,
if
he actually
if
powder
cares
kegged.
for or
He
doesn't
powder
care for
kegged
Weathered
every
Wayfarer
single
at this
one.
point.
He powder kegged. I didn't activate Wayfarer except for one time.
He's the only
He
person
powder
who's just
kegged
like,
every other one.
ignore Weathered Wayfarer. Can I buy the original art for Weathered Wayfarer?
Yeah.
He's like a split card.
He was figuring out whether or not he should keg my diamonds or my Wayfarers, and the answer was it doesn't matter
Armageddon.
because I'll have one or the other.
So
which
you're
is
like
great.
do you have Wasteland? You have Lotus Field?
Lotus Veil.
Lotus Veil? You have Lotus Veil and you're like Mox 12 land deck with Scroll Rack and Armageddon?
Yeah, well, you get Lotus Veil with your Wayfarer, and then you just keep Wayfarer.
Nice. It's like
Yeah.
a combo.
It actually turns out that you just need the Undiscovered Paradise and the Lair, and you're probably fine. But I wanted to see what would happen, and the answer was I never drew it.
I had an interesting play where I had resolved Opal Wave in game 2.
Oh, sorry. I should mention that you can also use City of Traders to the same bad effect.
You have City of Traders in your deck also?
No, I'm saying City of Traders could do the Lotus Veil thing similarly.
So, and then I was clocking SWB. He Scroll Racked away his whole hand, got the Disenchant, stayed alive. I could have replenish then and there post-combat with a high likelihood of resolving it because he threw his whole hand away, so it was unsculpted, just digging for the disenchant to not die. But I did not, and then he peeled Phyrexian Furnace the next turn. Just took away my opportunity.
Your opalescence, yeah.
To replenish back my opalescence. So then we were just playing, and then we went to town.
Yeah. In game 1, I don't even remember what happened. Eventually, I had a Psychotog on the battlefield, and I was like very coy about killing Andy for like 4 turns, and he just like didn't have anything. I was like playing around double Chain of Vapor, and he had Island. And then
Psychotog is like pretty good against
P-Type? Yeah.
Against
Well, so no, you meddling mage on counterspell.
I had mage on
and then
counterspell.
you gave me a counterspell off of the factor fix, or you did.
You picked the counterspell, my good friend.
Sure. I forgot what the other pile was.
And he made a mistake?
No, it
was like
I gave him a
4
juicy
lands and a
pile with a dead
counterspell?
card. Yeah.
Okay.
Like the counterspell was dead.
I mean, obviously he didn't make a mistake. Why would I even ask?
Yeah, Andy did it. Yeah. And then in game 2, I kept like a 1-lander.
This mana base is a beaut. It's got a swamp and 2 plains.
Yeah. This is why it needs to be like a 67 card deck,
It has
because it's got too many fetches and not enough
Gush,
fetchables.
foil, counterspell, 2 plains in a swamp.
Yeah.
And all these weird lands also.
There's only one copy of Counterspell, because often you're going to Meddling Mage Name and Counterspell.
Are these cards at the bottom of your sideboard?
No. Oh, God, I need to put the sideboard out for the deck pick.
Those are the meddling mage targets.
Or the Weathered Wayfarer
Sorry,
targets?
meddling mage targets.
Like skinny.
You don't have Armageddon in the main deck?
Yeah, there's 2 over there.
Okay.
All right, let's see how they play. What you're supposed to do about it.
Alright, so what do we got here? Engineered Plague, Phyrexian Furnace,
You totally topic.
Disenchant.
I blame some good things. Your guy's still blocked.
4 Chill.
Just because
Oh yeah, this deck looks like it's not great against mono red.
No.
It's not great.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look good. It's got 2 mana 1/1s, 1 mana 1/1s. Psychotog is good against mono red. No, unnecessary. Unnecessary. No, I want my cards in the deck pick, please. Andy's trying to swap out foil 6th edition chills. I have exactly 1 foil 6th edition chill, and it's a prize card, so I'm keeping my cards how they are.
So no flexible sideboard cards really. You just like have all hate.
Disenchant's flexible. It can destroy an artifact or an enchantment.
You destroy a survival of the fittest.
You can
Yeah.
kill a Parallax Tide or a Mishra's Factory.
Yeah, exactly. That's really flexible. That's the definition of flexible.
So you have like
What do you think a flexible
Or a
sideboard
counter
card
kit.
is? Thawing Glaciers?
Yeah.
It only does one thing.
does so many things.
Disenchant does limitless things. Thawing
Like, what
Glaciers
about
can
a Mana
can
Short?
do 1 of 5
Mana
things.
Short kills a Phyrexian Dreadnought, also kills an opponent.
I could put an Abeyance in the sideboard.
Vance is so
Vance is
good.
great.
I had to use a Vance to draw land.
But most of the time I have like Gush Foil Armageddon, so it's like pretty good. Anyways, I don't know. Esper Bobs. Bunch of creatures.
Esper Bob's 3-0.
Some
If this were
counterspell.
Pauper, I would have just written an article about this, and I'm like, all right.
I could write
Cha-ching.
I could write an article about this, but I actually don't know enough about this deck to write an article.
You haven't played it in an online league yet?
I played it in an online
Did
league.
you win?
I went like 4-2.
What'd you lose to?
I lost like 1 to Dreadnought because
It's fine.
yeah, and then
No explanation needed.
and then
Oh, they were Dreadnought? Oh, okay.
I don't remember what the other one was, but it was like I think it was like a tough matchup. It might have been like a beatdown deck or something, like a burn deck. I don't know actually.
I
honestly don't
always
remember.
play against Wyatt Danger in the last round. I basically always lose.
I mean, my draw was going to be either Wyatt or Levine, right? Because I was 2-0 and Wyatt was 1-0.
If I had gotten Levine,
Quite with it out.
I would have
Played Enchantress versus Tide. Superb matchup.
Superb matchup.
If I had gotten Wyatt, we would have not completed game 1.
Wyatt, just wait. He just assembled 3 counterspells and a foil. Yeah, I can't beat that, right?
Yeah.
I have 3 opalescences and a replenish. I cast them all in 1 turn. Did not deck myself. He had all of them.
Yeah. Well, that's Thursday night. Esper Bob's trophy. Deck pick will get posted somewhere. I don't know. Can you put it on your Instagram?
Yeah,
'Cause
take a nice deck pick and I'll put it on my Instagram.
You can put it on your Instagram. And then Tempo, Sylvan Library's Tempo, Weather Wayfarer's
If you
Tempo.
really want to hear more about Tempo, Top Level
Top Level Podcast.
just go to toplevelpodcast.com. It's the top post right now.
Love Spy Colony.
Wait, what else are we going to say? Nothing? Listen to Top Level Podcast.
Listen to Top Level
So
Podcast.
that Patrick keeps wanting to do it.
Esper Bob's is real.
Did you sign us up for the tree? Oh,
What?
Did
I
you
did
sign
not.
us up for Team Trios?
Who's our third?
I thought you wanted. I thought you had a.
I'll
limited?
I'll
Yeah,
secure
Lanny,
a third.
Just send me the date and the info.
I already asked 2 people. We can't ask Lanny also.
I haven't looked.
Did any of them confirm?
Yeah,
No, I guess not. But
yeah.
are you good at Edge?
Beat him
I
to the
played
chase.
so much Edge.
I'm I'm like good at limited.
Okay.
Is it team draft or team sealed?
Team Sealed and
with,
Team Draft.
Top 4 is top 4, and then top 2 are team drafts.
November 9th. But we have top rope on November 1st, and then
It's a Sunday.
Like, present. That isn't that.
Okay, I
that's
just wanna
not enough
point
time to
something.
learn a draft format for me.
I don't know, man. I won. I trophied 8 times in the first 24
Okay,
hours.
is it on Arena?
It's on Arena right now.
Okay,
You also don't need to we know it.
I'll play it on Arena.
It's sealed.
Yeah, I'll play it on
Also,
Arena
just
and then figure out.
study
Well, we're gonna top it.
Just study the deck map.
Top 4.
top 4, yeah.
I can't
So-
even make the invitation.
Shouldn't it be top 2? Because so there's gonna
No,
be
it's
3
top.
drafts.
It's
in the
better
top
for us.
4?
That minimizes luck. Also, Andy and I are a lock for top 2, so it doesn't matter what the
No,
path
we're locked
is.
for 2.
Lock for second place. Yeah.
We are a lock for top 2. Maybe there's some variance. I mean, I've improved. First time I won no matches that mattered. Second time, I immediately won a match that mattered in the first round.
Okay, let's
This
just
time I won't screw up in the finals.
let's say something really good for the people who didn't turn off the podcast by now because they didn't want to hear us talking about Team Sealed. What's a really, really good thing?
A really good thing.
Yeah.
If Esper Bobs is a real deck, I mean, Resilience of Pre-Modern, I think it would be exciting if it was a real deck.
I think I want to shout out Bryson. Like, Bryson was making like the Esper Wayfarer with like Gush and like a lot of the same cards, and so I think it would be
How
like
would I know Bryson's name?
Bryson is Slow King.
Slow King. That's
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh,
You were
weren't you
at
playing
LobsterCon,
Slow
you guys
King?
at
Yeah.
LobsterCon.
Yeah. We got to meet in person at LobsterCon, get some good hands.
Okay.
And Bryson played Esper No Bobs with against Andy playing
No,
Marble
I know Slow King and I know Slow King's deck.
Yeah. And he's put in a lot more reps and probably has like a lot of insight. So go bother him, but just add looter to whatever he's doing.
But where
That'll
could
make
you
it great.
bother him? The Bougie Discord. There's
Bougie
only,
Discord.
Only one way to get there.
You can look up Slow King like on Discord, but like obviously if you like, I don't know, if you ask nicely, you can slide into his DMs.
And also, if you want to go to the Bougie Discord, recently there's just been like fist fighting between Lanny and Rich Shea.
Yeah, about
So-
math.
Yeah, about math.
So for $5 one time or for $5 a month, you can witness that. And also at 5 with Flores on Instagram, at David Thomas Tao on Instagram. And
Because this podcast
this
was
podcast is sponsored
by David Thomas Tao. Okay, got it.
listen
He might be the
to
best Tarragon player.
right now. D Tao is the reigning best Tarragon player in the Northeast. Yeah,
If he just won,
yeah, would've been
EW,
nice. Yeah,
would've
would've
been-
nice. But he didn't. Second place is.
Okay, you don't
first or
even
last.
talk to me about second place,
Yeah, second
okay?
place is horrible. Second place is like.
I mean, remember, I second place
horrible.
to 2D Tao.
Yeah. Second place is like missing on Ace King. It's like you got so far, you got dealt a good hand.
I
and
tracked
then
this
you
little
just
kid
missed.
on Pocket Rockets 3 weeks in a row.
When were you playing poker?
Play poker?
I play poker with like a 10-year-old and a 13-year-old like every week.
Is it like your nephews or something? Like, is this like
Sure.
Okay, there's
We'll go with
too
that.
much lore here. All right.
Oh, so Chapin came, and we all played, and Chapin just
Annihilates
he never was in any hand until it was heads up me and him.
Okay, yeah.
then-
he's bum hunting.
He just did nothing. He just like folded every
You have
hand
to find the weak
while
player.
I cracked every other player at the table.
And then he sacks
And then
you
he's
off.
just like, let's go. And then I all in on garbage so we could stop. We're
So that we
playing
could go
for
get
money,
lunch,
right?
yeah,
Yeah, it was like
all right.
so we could have the rest of the night, you know.
All right.
So basically
You
one of
didn't
us
wanna
was going
go
to win.
heads up, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Well, no, one of us was going to win, right?
Right.
But no one else is participating in this.
Right. It's kind of like board games or Commander, where like one person dies, they have to watch. All right,
so-
love Spike Off.
Oh, sorry. Bye.
He does.
Game over.